Hello everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. It's about that time. Let's go take that walk and see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. I've had some of these beers in the fridge for quite a while now, and the reason so, these are monster sized beers. And every time I try to, I've done some of their beers before, and every time I try to pronounce it, I pronounce it wrong because I'm not from Norway, and a lot of that, the way it's pronounced, is N-O with a slash through it, which I think it means that's silent, G-N-E, a space, and then another zero, a big zero with a slash through it. So I pronounce it Nogne, but it's not how it's pronounced. So it is what it is. It looks like that's how it's pronounced to me, so that's what I'm going to call it. I know I'll get some comments back on this, and that's not how it's pronounced. This is silent, that's silent, this is pronounced like that, but Naga knows how I pronounce it, so that's what it's going to be. And like I said, I've had 3 of these tins down in the fridge for several years. So let's start off with this one. This is the Red Horizon. And what it says here, we brewed this ale with the famous sake yeast number 7 from Masumi Sake in Nagano, Japan. On advice from Masumi's master brewers, we fermented this ale very slowly at low temperatures to bring out number 7's fabulously fruity character. This product is unfiltered and unpasteurized. Please enjoy chilled. Special thanks to Masumi. Alright, it says Norwegian ale right here, 8.5 fluid ounces. So it's not a huge bottle, and they put them in these tins to jack up the prices as far as I'm concerned. So they wrap them up in this tissue paper, and it is a kind of small bottle, so you're paying a very big price for the packaging and a small bottle of this. This is, and it doesn't have what edition it is. I don't think here. I don't see it written on here. It's got the alcohol, and it looks like some of the red writing has come off on it. But this is a pretty big beer. It says 12.5% there, but it looks like it says 17% here, and I cannot make it out. So let me do a quick check here and see what it says here. Yes, it is. This is the original. It's a retired. They've done a second edition and a third edition since this one was done. This one is at 17%, guys. So it's probably going to be fairly boozy in my opinion. That's why it's been downstairs for a while. I'm going to put this can up there where y'all can see it. To me, all this tin can and tissue paper jacks the price up. That's just my personal opinion, guys. And then they put the beer in this little teeny bottle. So you're paying an enormous price for this. But just remember, this is 17%. This is the first beer of the day. So more than likely, it's going to seem real boozy to me. But I've got to the point in the fridge. I've did most of the beer mails that I've received, and I haven't been out and done any shopping because of that. And all the ones I have left out in the fridge are the bigger beers, 10%ers and bigger. So we're at that point where we're going to do some of them, and that's the way it is, guys. So I have 3 tins of 3 different versions of this Horizon for these guys, and we're going to probably do them consecutively just to get them out and out of the fridge until I can get to the beer store and buy something else. Alright guys, we'll get on with this one. It says here, commercial description, the IBUs on this one before we get started is 75, and like I said, it's 17%. So man, this is like almost 4 beers in one, but it's a smaller bottle. It's a lot smaller bottle. We brewed this ale only with the famous sake yeast number 7, and I told you all that it's exactly the same thing that's written on the side of the can here as in the commercial description. So, with that being said, this is classified as an American strong ale. And damn, I wouldn't argue with that at 17%. That's an extra strong ale. So, I'm just hoping it's not being selling for several years now, that it's not going to be quite as boozy as it is, but it probably is going to be. So, over to the food pairings for this particular beer. It says cheeses are nutty, Asiago Colby Parmesan, and the glassware, Pipebacker, Nogne, tumbler, snifter, mug, stein, the side ale. I've got the double glass, and it can be 17%. This beer keep for 20 years probably. So, but anyway, I haven't kept it quite that long. I've probably had it 3 or 4 anyway. I don't know exactly when this particular version was done, but they've done several versions a little smaller since this one came out. So let me slide that up there where y'all can. It says Red Horizon on the can, and it's got their O on the front, and that's probably Red Horizons written in Japanese in the front of there. I'm just guessing about that because I can't read Japanese either. All right, let's get this one open. Nice little hiss, a little bit of smoke, and at 17%, you think it would pour ahead? I seriously kind of doubt it. So let's go down. And there's no sediment in the bottom, so I can smell the alcohol from here, guys. Wow, it's almost like rubbing alcohol. Alright, let me set that bottle up there. And as you can see, that's all it poured into the double glass. So that's the whole package right there. Over into the light. I can see the light right through it. It did not pour any head. I really did not expect it to at that big of an ABV of a beer. It almost looks like whiskey in the glass. And the amount of alcohol I'm getting from here, I would say it's probably going to taste like that too. So let's get a nose on it. Getting booze right off there. Alcohol is prominent on the front end. There is some lighter fruit notes in there like pears, apples, or apricots. And being done with sake yeast, it has a little bit of that quality in there as far as the yeast characteristics. But the alcohol is definitely present, so here goes. Now, I'm not much into these monster beers. I mean, once you get above 12%, it's really, really hard to mask that alcohol in the brewing process. So, here we go. Cheers, everybody. Whoa. That's a monster beer, guys. Wow. Other than the booze, there is, like I said, same on the taste as I'm getting on the nose. Lighter fruit, pears, apples, apricots, maybe a hint of mango, maybe some tangerine in there somewhere, or oranges. But the booze is just, and I knew it was going to be that way, and that's why I've kept it for so long. And like I said, I've got 3 tins of this, and they're all above 12%, 12% or bigger. So we're going to go ahead and get them out of the way more than likely until I can get to the beer store and get some other stuff that's lower ABV. I'm really not into these monster beers. I have some Avery beers down there that are 14, 15, 17%, and they've been in there a while just for the same reason, because the alcohol is just so hard to get over. I mean, unless you've had 3, 4, 5 beers already, especially doing this one at a 17% for the first beer of the day, it's going to seem boozy. Now, with that being said, there are some people that probably like these monster beers like that, and can session 2 or 3 of them at a time. I'm not one of those. I don't session beers anymore, so drinking 3, 15, 17% beers, even though they're small like that, you're going to catch a buzz. It's not a doubt in my mind. But maybe, it says to drink this chilled, so I don't know how long I'm going to let it warm up. I'm going to definitely share some of this with the other half. But it is boozy, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. It is straight up boozy, with a little light fruit thrown in there. I may not be where the other ratings have this beer. I'm going to tell you straight up when I get done with this what I think of it and what rating I'm going to give it. And then we'll go to what Beer Advocate and Rate Beer says. But to me, and a lot of these breweries like to brew these monster beers just to say that we brewed a 17% or like Sam Adams. We got a 26%er in a Utopia bottle. That stuff drinks like more like whiskey or liquor than it does beer. So this is not something you can get a 6-pack of these and set around on the deck and drink them and still be able to function when you get done. This one will kick your ass. Maybe something you can blend with something else. Maybe get you pour half a glass of something and then pour half a glass of this in there just to kick it up a notch, maybe. So, but anyway, a very nice sweet taste to it to go with that booze and the lighter fruit. But the booze is still there, even though it's been in the fridge for probably 3 or 4 years. So, all right, guys, let's let it warm up just a hair, and I'll come back and do the final chug on this one. Give you the grade 2. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little left here. Didn't sip on it too long. Shared several sips with the old lady. And I'm not saying old, I'm saying old. Or should I say the better half? That's more like it. That's more respectful. She liked it. Let's put it that way. But it is boozy, guys. It's almost impossible to mask 17% alcohol. More than likely the reason why it's in such a small bottle. And it was already, I don't remember what I paid for this, but it wasn't cheap. It was fairly expensive. So, but I'm a big fan of this brewery, and I have done several of their beers already. And like I said, I have 3 of them in the tins, and I have a couple more downstairs in the bottles that's not in the tins. So I'm a big fan of this brewery. But this is a sipper. I mean, it is a thick, heavy, boozy beer, but it works. I mean, it's a well-made beer. They do really good stuff over there. It's tasty, but it's boozy. I keep saying that, but it is. I mean, for the first beer of the day, this is a boozy beer. But you got to expect that with 17%. You're drinking almost a liquor or moonshine or what have you there. So let's do the final chug on this one, guys. If you're wanting to get your buzz on fast, this one will get you there quicker. You be in the express lane to the buzz. So, and more than likely, that's what's going to happen if you drink more than 1 of these, or 2 of these, or 3 of these, or 3 of that size beers. You're going to get your buzz on pretty quick. And a lot of people like to do that. They like to get it on and feel good and feel better and all that. But anyway, lighted fruit. It's like a thick, heavy, syrupy beer. There is some, I get a little cherries in this, pears, apples, apricots, and booze. Did I say booze? Guys, it's an incredible beer, but it's not up my alley. It's too heavy, too thick, and too boozy for my taste. It's a well-made beer. I did like it. I'm glad I got to try it. But it's been cellaring for 3 or 4 years. Hopefully that it has settled down a little bit, and I wouldn't bet a lot of money on that. Still tastes fairly boozy, but anyway. As far as the grade on this one, guys, I'm not blown away by it. I'm going to give it to 7, which is a B+. This beer might be better 15 years from now than it is now, but maybe not. So it is what it is. Let's see what everybody else thinks. Let's go over to Beer Advocate first. Beer Advocate says 84 in their good range. It is a good beer. It is a good beer. But just remember you're drinking a 17%er. Over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer has 94 overall, which is some really good numbers, and 73 in the style. So there's a lot of people that drink beer, but they're not looking for something that's quite this boozy or that much alcohol. Some are, but most of us are not. And the people that drink liquor, usually, or whiskey, or bourbon, or stuff like that, usually don't drink a lot of beer. They usually have one or the other. You usually like beer, the taste of beer, and that percentage of alcohol, or you like something a little stronger, and you like that type of alcohol. I'm a beer guy myself. I used to drink whiskey and bourbon and all that. Wasn't a heavy drinker of those things. So I still liked my beer, and that was just a faster way to get to the hammer lane, if you will. So, but anyway, this is a decent beer. We didn't blow my socks off or my hair back or anything like that. From what I remember, it was a fairly pricey beer. I just wanted to get it and cellar it and give it a try, which we have now. So glad I have, glad I did, glad I bought it. Don't think I would seek it out again just because of the booziness of the beer. But it is what it is, guys. If you had this Red Horizon, and I'm going to say it again, Nagano or Nogne, I don't know how it's pronounced, but I call it Nagano. So that's what I pronounce. That's probably the way I'll pronounce it till I die. But that's the way it looks like it's read to me, and that's the way I say it. So I have done it before, and other guys, subscribers have said, no, that's not how it's pronounced, but it's how it looks like it to this old country hillbilly. So that's how I'm going to pronounce it. If you had it, let me know. Give me some comments back on this one, and let me know whether you liked it or didn't like it. It was decent. I'm sure it's a very well-made beer. Too boozy for me. Alright guys, that's all. We're going to wrap it up for this one. Let me know if you had it. Hit that like button, rate, comment, subscribe, and let's see what the next Nagano beer brings. See you tomorrow.